Welcome. This is perhaps one of the most exciting moments in the history of California State University, Stanislaus. We have gathered all today to celebrate the award of an Honorary Doctorate of Fine Arts to one and only Maestro Domingo. Thank you. Before we start the ceremony, let me introduce and recognize some member of the platform party as well as member of the audience. In the platform party with me are Honorable Melinda Guzman, trustee of the California State University. Let me tell you that Trustee Guzman is a truly advocate of the students. No matter what the issue or challenge, to her, student is always first. And she has been really advocating this notion of students truly in every board meeting that I've been with her. She is a great friend and supportive of our campus. So she deserves another round of applause. We have on the platform also Mr. Matt Swanson, President of the California State University Foundation Board of Directors. Matt. And of course, an unknown person that is about to graduate, Maestro Domingo. Placido Domingo is one of the most loved and listened to opera singers in the 20th century. He began his career by accompanying his mother's recitals and singing minor baritone roles in his parents' company. He was given a small part in the first Mexican production of My Fair Lady, which ran for 185 performances. He sang 170 performances of The Merry Widow. He performed in a musical called The Redhead. He played piano for a touring ballet company. He had his own music program on a new cultural television station in Mexico City. And he has served in many other roles throughout his professional career. Placido Domingo made his operatic debut at Monterey as Alfredo in La Traviata, and then spent 2.5 years with the Israel National Opera, singing 280 performances of 12 different roles. In 1966, he created the title role in the United States premiere of Gianastra's Don Rodrigo at the New York City Opera, while appearing there in a standard repertory as well. Domingo's Metropolitan Opera debut came in 1968 as Maurizio in Adriana Lecouvert's. He has subsequently appeared there in more than 590 performances of 42 different roles, and now in his 41st consecutive season with the company. He appeared regularly at all the big opera houses, including Milan's La Scala, the Vienna State Opera, London's Covent Garden, Paris's Bastille, San Francisco Opera, Chicago's Lyric Opera, Washington National Opera, the Los Angeles Opera, Teatro de Lucio in Barcelona, Teatro Colón in Buenos Aires, the Real in Madrid, and the Beirut and Salzburg festivals. As a conductor, Placido Domingo has led opera performances in all important theaters from Metropolitan to London's Covent Garden and the Vienna State Opera, and has conducted purely symphonic concerts with such renowned orchestras as the Berlin and Vienna Philharmonic, London Symphony, and the Chicago Symphony, while also making recordings as a conductor. As an administrator, Placido Domingo was the music director of Sevilla World's Expo Fair, and in this capacity invited the world's foremost orchestras and opera companies, including the Metropolitan Opera, to Spain. He is today General Director of the Los Angeles Opera. As of today, Placido Domingo has sung 124 different roles, more than any other tenor in the annals of music. His repertoire spans from Mozart to Verdi, from Berlioz to Puccini, from Wagner to Gianastra. He sings in every important opera house in the world and has made an unparalleled amount of recordings, of which 101 are full-length operas, and for which he has earned 9 Grammys and 2 Grammys in the newly established Latin division. Placido Domingo has made more than 50 videos and 3 theatrically released films, which are Traviata, Otello, and Carmen. More than 1 billion people in 117 different countries saw his telecast of Tosca from the authentic settings in Rome. To date, he had opened the Met season, a record-setting 21 different times. He is the number 1. Considered one of the most talented and hardest working musicians of our time, Placido Domingo remains at the center of international opera world and as the world's most distinguished maestro. I would be remiss not to add a personal note. Placido is a dear friend. I had the honor of knowing him several years ago. About more than a year ago, I want you to know a personal story. Fatih and I were at the Dorothy Chandler Auditorium in Los Angeles, where Maestro Domingo was conducting Giuseppe Verdi's Requiem. This was in the memory of Luciano Pavarotti. And I have to tell you that Fatih and I were the most privileged, and every member of the audience that night was most privileged to listen to that performance. I don't think there has ever been one like it, and there never will be. I wish they would have had a recording of that. It was magnificent. It was one of the most joyous moments in our life, and we are, again, very privileged. But on a more personal note, again, when I approached him for an honorary doctorate, he promised me to come and pick it up. Because as you know, he has received numerous honorary doctorates that he has picked it up, but he has also received numerous other honorary doctorates that he has never gone and picked it up. So we are one of the very, very privileged few. He just simply doesn't have the time. So he made time for us, and we are truly privileged that he's here today to pick up his honorary doctorate. With this introduction, I would like to invite Trustee Guzman to join me on the podium to officially bestow on him the Honorary Doctorate of Fine Arts. Trustee Guzman.
Well, good morning. Before I read the official citation, I want to first of all say good morning. What a beautiful day. This is the way to begin every month with Placido Domingo sitting right next to you. My heart is beating. We've heard the wonderful things about his music. On other notes, this is a man of compassion. He is a man who, when Mexico City suffered its earthquake, he was right there in the rubbles, searching, providing hope and inspiration for people throughout Mexico. On a more personal note, Don Placido, my father had Alzheimer's disease several years ago, and he died in 2005. And although he couldn't remember my name and he couldn't remember to speak, the voice was the music. And he never forgot the music of Mexico in this instance. And I shared with Don Placido that as I was driving over here, I was playing one of his CDs because he sings with mariachi. And my father, we're from Mexico, and not quite the opera family, but somos rancheros y nos encanta la música mexicana. And he used to listen to that. And even though he couldn't really speak to me anymore, he spoke with his eyes, and he spoke by listening to the music of Don Placido and others. And if I would play him the guitar, he would put his hand on the guitar to feel the music. And that is the memory and the power and strength of Don Placido Domingo. Es un placer estar aquí con usted, Señor. Usted da luz a día para millones de personas en todo el mundo. He gives light to the day to millions of people in the world through his music. And that is why we're so humbled here. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees of the California State University. We have over 23 campuses throughout the state. We represent over 400,000 students in our system. We graduate more Latino students than any other university system in the world. And we are in the Central Valley, which is California's hot spot for growth for the future. The Central Valley and this campus are California's economic future. And that is why we're so especially proud to have you here today. One of the nice things that we do as a member of the trustees, and I've been on this board for 6 years now, is that we participate in graduations. And we have the privilege of bestowing the highest honor on civilians, members of the public who have distinguished their life's work in an area. And today we honor you for your life's work, not only in music, but of a man of the community. Esa voz tan fuerte y tan llena de emoción. Now I get to read the official citation. El Maestro Placido Domingo. Please give him a round of applause before I read. And the official citation reads as follows. Placido Domingo, a true Renaissance man in music, is widely recognized as the greatest operatic artist of modern time. His countless awards as a singer, conductor, and administrator, including being named a Kennedy Center honoree, a commander of France's Legion of Honor, recipient of the honorary knighthood of the British Empire, recipient of an honorary doctorate from Oxford University, recipient of President Gorbachev's World Award for Humanitarian Causes, recipient of the highest decoration in the United States, the Medal of Freedom, and most recently named as the first recipient of the $1 million Birgit Nilsson Prize for Outstanding Music Achievement. El Maestro Domingo's interest in supporting young aspiring artists is exemplified through his annual competition, Operella, which is the most prestigious and competitive forum on the international scene today. His humanitarian spirit and compassion are further exemplified by the millions of dollars he has raised through special benefit concerts to help the victims of AIDS and the victims of major natural disasters such as the Armenian earthquake, the mudslides of Acapulco, Hurricane Katrina, and the 1985 Mexican earthquake, where he physically took part in the rescue operations. Placido Domingo's many years of excellence and extraordinary achievements in the field of music and theater, his dedication to paving the way for opera's future stars, and his efforts to raise millions in relief funds for victims of disease and natural disasters make him most deserving of this honor and tribute. In recognition of his outstanding professional achievements and meritorious service to society, the Board of Trustees of the California State University and California State University Stanislaus are proud to confer upon Placido Domingo the honorary degree of Doctor of Fine Arts. Please join me in congratulating El Maestro Placido Domingo.
Thank you, Dr. Shirvani. Thank you, Ms. Guzman, and everybody present in this extraordinary university, which I have the pleasure to be driving from San Francisco and seeing in the wonderful surroundings that you have. The Central Valley is a wonderful place to live. And I think that you are privileged, students, to be studying and preparing for your future. It's such a really amazing, beautiful place. I want to thank you very deeply. It's a great honor for me to receive this degree. Very special because we were looking for the time to do it. And I know that these honorary degrees you presented most of the time in the great day when all the students, they graduate, and which is a memorable day for the students. And I'm sorry that it cannot happen at that moment. I know the graduation time is in May, and I'm sorry that it couldn't happen in that moment. But in any case, I'm very, very happy to be, because I believe that this is the 50th anniversary of the university, and I'm so happy to know that part of the university is you have a department of music and department of voice, which it is, of course, my life. It has been my life. So you are 50 years of university, and it is, my career has been going on for 50 years. And I cannot tell you, of course you mentioned so many wonderful things there, so it takes time, to do all that kind of work. It takes a lot of time, and I'm very privileged, I am very, very proud to be able to take such a wonderful honorification, a doctoral degree, when I am still an active singer. When I sang the day before yesterday, Cyrano de Bergerac at the San Francisco Opera, and when I have to sing tomorrow another performance plus 3 more of the running. So it's a great satisfaction to receive these honorifications when you are still performing, when you are still being part of the music world, not only because you have been, but because you are still a performer. I just want to tell you, Dr. Shirvani, when we just met a few minutes before and talk about the ceremony, he was asking me if I was able to sing something. I have to tell you that unfortunately it is singers, we are very capricious. Maybe, how many of you are singers here among them? Wow, that's a good group, okay. So, I don't know what is the feeling for you, but to sing in the morning is really difficult. And I will advise to you teachers and so on, then you have theory, you have languages, you have movement, body movement, anything, but the singing really started, anytime after lunch, when you have, however, it doesn't help also for my voice today, the fact that I did a very demanding opera the day before yesterday, and I have the other performance tomorrow. But I do promise you that when I will be around the area again, which it happens very often for me to be either in Southern California or to come to San Francisco, I promise you I will come and have the time with you, the students, and thank you. And perhaps I can dare to sing with the young singers. For me, one of the most important things in the actual part of my life is to be able to continue the chain, I was lucky at the beginning of my career to be connected with some of the great singers of the past. Many of them, of course, they are not anymore with us, but I was able to meet singers like Giulietta Simeonato and Cesare Siepi, which they just passed away. By the way, Giulietta Simeonato was 100 years old. Or I was lucky to sing with singers like Giuseppe Di Stefano and many, Renata Tebaldi, some of the greatest names. And what I want is, it was a young dream for me. I mean, you can research. There is a magazine in England, and it's called Opera. And this opera from England. When I was 30 years old, I said that I was looking forward very much in the future to be able to help the young artists to make it easier and to pave the way for them to make a career. And I was only 30, but the reason I was already so interested in one day being able to help the young singers, it was because I spent 2.5 years in Israel. And in Israel, we went singers from all around the world. I remember a performance of Don Giovanni. I was born in Spain. My wife is Mexican. So she was singing Don Elvira, and I was singing Don Ottavio. We have a Greek soprano singing Donna Anna. We have an Italian bass singing Don Giovanni. We have a Japanese soprano singing Zerlina. We have an African-American bass singing Leporello. And we have an English conductor plus the stage director was an American singer that moved to Israel. She was a Jewish soprano, Edith de Philippe, which was the director of the company. So as you can see, it was, you cannot see a more international group of people. And I learned so much. I was performing in Israel, but at the same time that I was performing, we were like what you are doing now in a group here. We were just studying and preparing ourselves. So that was a dream for me. So from 18 years now, I have been having my competition of Operalia, which out of Operalia, they have been coming some of the best known singers today than you hear on the stage. People like Rolando Villazón, like Joyce Di Donato, like Elizabeth Futral, and many, many, many names. They have been coming from the competition. And I have 3 different groups of young artists. One at the LA Opera, another one at the Washington National Opera, which I have been also been there for 15 years now as their director, and another one in Valencia, Spain. So one of my great passions is to work with the young artists and to be able to really easy the way for them. I don't know among how many of yours here there is sitting right now the future Beverly Sills, you know, or a future Luciano Pavarotti, you know, or maybe a Placido Domingo. I don't know. But I would certainly would like to be part of finding out that talent. And the early you can find that talent is the best. And it's amazing, the preparation today. I have to say that all around you are blessed by wonderful people that teach you, and you develop so early in your careers that I have winners of Operalia at 22, at 23-year-old winners. Even the youngest one was 19 one day. Their preparation was amazing. The musicality, the knowledge of language, the technique. So it is amazing. The world of opera has developed in a tremendous, tremendous way. And I think I am very proud of saying that besides that I have dedicated my life to the opera and before to the zarzuela with my parents, I was able to do this concerts of the 3 tenors with my colleagues, with Luciano Pavarotti and Jose Carreras. And we really make opera more popular. And people today sees opera as something very close to them. Unfortunately, the only problem we have with opera, and especially today in a difficult crisis time, in the last 2.5 years at least, is how expensive is an opera. In an ideal world, I dream that maybe some architects, you know, they can build new theaters which they will be big enough to have, of course, with great acoustics and great possibility for the public to see it, but then we can build auditoriums of 5,000 people, 6,000 people, that it can be possible for the opera to be less expensive, you know, for the public, because I think that there are 2 kinds of people that they don't go to the opera. People that don't know about opera, and people that know but they cannot afford, you know. And this is something that it will be a solution one day, but perhaps it's a dream, because you have to accomplish to have the good acoustic and the good visual, you know, possibilities for the public. But I'm working so much on trying to develop all this, to try to help. We have a new world today with the internet. Unfortunately, the recording live is kind of, in this moment, I wouldn't say it finished, but almost, because of the because of the website, because of the internet, because of the satellite. But I hope that the recording, I was lucky enough to live in the time of recordings. That's the reason I was able to do so many recordings. So I want to encourage you, not only the musicians, the singers, but any student that is sitting here with any other dreams, with any other careers, that the only way to succeed in your life, it will be the total dedication, the total love and passion for what you are doing. Be sure that you have that before you make a choice of what you are going to study. I know it's so difficult sometimes when you are in college and you are about to reach the university time. What are you going to do? Think very serious, very, very serious, and enjoy it, this part of your youth, because this is the shortest part of your life. Most of the years you will be adults, you will be really already having families and being responsible for many things. But concentrate, these are the best years for you. So think, dedicate, get passion, devotion for what you have to do, and just be great citizens of your country and of your state, of your university. Never forget what you are receiving from right now, because this is the beginning of the rest of your life, So the rest of your life has to be brilliant, and you have to succeed very much. So I'm really thank you. This really terrific honorification. I will have it, and I will be very, very proud to be part of you. And as I said, it will be my great, great, great pleasure to come to you and enjoy times with the singers and the musicians. So have a wonderful rest of the year. Celebrate this 50th anniversary, and let's make a wonderful life. And congratulations to everyone that is succeeding in whatever you are doing, and especially the people that you have in your hands, this university. I congratulate you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much.
Having the opportunity to recognize the world-leading maestro, we cannot end this wonderful ceremony without at least a piece of music. So I've asked our own maestro, Thomas, to come and do a little piece for us in the closing. Let's give a round of applause to Maestro Stephen Thomas.
I was prepared just in case Maestro Domingo wanted to sing something with some of the arias that he is well known for. And rather than play a solo piano piece, I thought I would play the aria Deines mein ganzes Herz. You can imagine him singing it later in the day when he's not about to sing somewhere else. So Deines mein ganzes Herz from The Land of Smiles by Franz Lehár.
This was the best and biggest surprise. I want you to know that back there, he told me that he has never done that. This is the first place that he receives an honorary doctorate, and he sings. So let's give him... I know none of us want to leave this place. Perhaps we want to stay for hours and hours and hours. And now bring our maestro, Kavash, here, and every one of the maestros, and just sing and play and so forth. But I'm afraid that that's not going to be possible. We are really truly grateful to Maestro Domingo to be here and give us this joyous moment. And so I have to say I'm afraid that our ceremony is ended. So have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for coming. Appreciate it.